to regulate any form of manipulation, any form of playing around, any form of transformation, changing of such organisms in this country. So that is what the National Biosafety.
They undergo a risk assessment and we issue a permit. So if a product has not undergone any risk assessment and a permit has not been issued by the NBA, then the products are not allowed. Okay. So the current status as at now, because there's a lot of controversy.
Also known as Chrismo, is Mr. Chrispin Chiinda, just here to help us highlight a number of things about his intentions to run for the Munali Constituency in the 2021 elections, as well as the things that he's doing for the community of Munali Constituency right here in Lusaka. And I remember we are live on Movie TV, channel 43, on Go TV, channel 96, and on Topstar, channel 458, and you can still interact with us on our Facebook page, which is Revelation TV Zambia. You can drop your comments, as well as you can send your SMSs to 0978 43 74 37, 0978 43 74 37. And I'm your host, Lovely Kayombo. Mr. Chiinda, welcome to Revelation TV and welcome to the program.
Thank you, Kayombo. Good evening to the viewers. It's good to be here.
Okay. I think many have heard about Chrismo, and I've heard also about Chrispin Chiinda, and also the things that you are doing in the community. Maybe just briefly, want to know who the viewers are watching right here on Revelation TV.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Kayombo. Basically, I have grown up in the constituency, in the communities of Munali constituency, and obviously I could have invested my businesses elsewhere, but because of the love that I have for my communities, I decided to invest, to put my investment within the constituency where I'm coming from. Mm-hmm. They say there's no place like home, so I decided to be within, within my home, and do everything from there. So I like, or I love to be at home. With the community work that I've been doing, it started as what we call corporate social responsibility. So we've been helping out even before the aspiration of becoming an MP for Munali. We've been helping out in the community. In fact, it was our mothers that appealed to me that look, we have never had a homegrown person going up in the constituency and becoming an MP for this constituency. After looking through the record, I found that indeed, from the time the constituency was created in 1973, there has never been a homegrown person becoming an MP for Munali. Let me also quick to say that from the record, and I'm so proud as the son from Munali constituency that in 1978 we had a former President Lupia Banda, who was an MP for Munali, and again in 1988 the former President Lupia Banda also became an MP for Munali, and he went on to rule this country. So as a son from Munali constituency, I'm very proud that we produced a president who ruled this country in the name of Lupia Banda. And also that Munali hasn't been a one-lane constituency. We've had three of our mothers that became an MP for Munali. We had Madam Nawakwi, who became an MP for Munali in 2001. And we also had Madam Mumbipiri, who became an MP for Munali from 2006. And we have our mother, who became an MP from 2011 for Munali, going up to 2021. So really, I'm a very proud son of Munali constituency that I'm standing in Munali and challenging the record that the people of Munali in 2021, they'll be voting for someone who has grown up in the constituency. So basically, my victory will be the victory for everyone in Munali. They'll be voting for themselves.
Okay. Now, in terms of what ideas you're bringing to the table, I think maybe it's not your first time to declare intentions to stand for Munali constituency. Maybe what new ideas do people expect, from you as you pursue the dream of representing the people of Munali constituency?
The ideas are many, because you know, when you're growing up from a home, you know the challenges. When you're growing up, you know everything that the challenges that we went through as the son of Munali. So basically, one, we need to look at how we can help our youths. Secondly, we need to look at how we can involve our mothers, our women, how we can develop our constituency. And thirdly, we have to look at the education sector in our constituency. We have to look at the health sector in our constituency. And in the health sector, we have a problem in the Counter Square, where we have a clinic that closes at 17 hours. We need, and that is a combo. It's a combo in national government. So we really need that clinic to be upgraded, or we can build another clinic. Since I'm coming from a business world, I would want to employ even other businesses within the constituency that they should be able to do something. You know, the corporate social responsibility, they need to do something to improve the environment in Munali constituency. Just like I was doing, even when I become an MP for Munali, we need to mobilize and take it up, so that we can also do our part, not only waiting for government to come and improve our environment. I need to also take this opportunity to thank the president of the government of President Edgar Lungu, that they have taken keen interest to develop the infrastructure in terms of roads, and the Kamloops Road is coming up very well. Munali Road is coming up very well. Adi Kinkata Road is coming up very well. The contractor is on site. Since that's our home, and when I was coming here, I passed through there. I saw that. I was very impressed. So really, the president is doing a lot of work for us, and I know that Munali will never be the same after the completion of these works that are happening now. Yeah.
Now, in terms of participation of the residents in Munali, of course, for you to achieve what you are setting up to do, you need people to support you and buy into your vision of changing lives in Munali constituency. Maybe what would be your way of maybe appeal to the people of Munali constituency in terms of embracing new ideas that are coming, for them to see a change in their lives?
Yeah. So you see, when you want to stand in front of people to become a leader, you must do something that people are able to recognize you for what you've done in your personal life. And I have no doubt that in my personal life, I have worked so hard and I've demonstrated enough to the people of Munali that indeed I can be in front of them and lead the development plan that we have in our constituency. And look, I have built Chrispin out of my hard-earned money, and I have created the employment in Munali constituency, because the Chrispin that you see, that you hear about, was built by the local people of Munali constituency. The Chrispin the Chrispin lodges that you hear about or have seen in Chamba Valley was built by the people of Munali, the local people of Munali constituency. And all these that I'm doing in the compounds, the helping out in the compound, in the communities, going to the churches and helping out in the construction of the respective churches within the constituency. It's just I'm a son of the constituency. It's just giving a helping hand. It has nothing to do with the political ambition. I have been doing this for a long time, even before I declared interest to stand. So I'll continue doing that. The people of Munali, they should be assured that this person we are putting into office will continue helping out the other people in the constituency like that. I need to help the youths, but I need a lot of responsibility from the youths as well, because we are going back to the family values and principles. The way we grew up at home, where parents would tell us not to do certain things. And this is what I want to to also implore to our mothers that let's try to remind our youths how we grew up at home, and they shouldn't lead a responsible life, because obviously when we are talking about youths to be given even a job, you need a level of responsibility. We don't want a situation where you get paid today and then the only time that you go back to work ni shindarama zikasira. We don't want a situation like that. We want a situation where even if you have money, you can do a lot with the money that you've gained out of the work you've done. But then tomorrow, keep working like that. And this is how we can improve our environment. Once you improve your own environment, you'll be able to improve an environment for your neighbor. And it will go on like that. You'll be able to improve the environment for everyone. Eventually, we're going to improve the environment of our Munali constituency better than we found it. Okay. Yeah.
Now, we talked about the issue of responsibilities among the young people, and we had a number of instances of youth gangs called the Fluffies, especially in Tendere and Kalingalinga area there. What do you think is needed, for these youth gangs to come to an end?
What we need, in fact, that is a growing concern for me, as an aspiring leader, as aspiring or as incoming member of parliament, as people would say, because that is a generation that will take over from us. Now, if we have an irresponsible generation that is drinking so much, that is only focused on getting something from whatever means from people that are working so hard, and attacking them, then you go back to drink, I think it's very worrisome. So what I'm actually doing is that I'm talking to these youths. I know that they might not listen there and then, but I'm talking to them. This is why I have sponsored some pool tournament where we are following them in the clubs where they drink from, and try to teach them, try to tell them that, look guys, nakulira mkomboni na mavuto, maybe mavuto yaliko manje yaliko bwino, but mavuto yatu isepete nzokula yenzeko wese, but we managed to come out and become what I am today. And in doing this, I've also included our women, because for us to be what we are is our women. These youths are coming from homes, and these homes, the custodians of these homes are women. So women, they are so important in the key stakeholders in this. We need to join hands. We need the concerted efforts from the community itself, society itself. We need the women to come in and put in their values and principles. We need even the leaders to talk about it, because this is not only happening in our constituency, it's also happening in other areas. Just recently, about 150 youths, young people, were arrested in Solwezi, and 50 of them were charged. These are same young people, the gangs that are emerging, and in the key to a copper belt, same thing like that is happening. To us who are aspiring to be in leadership, it's a very worrisome situation. We don't want to have a generation like that will come in and be irresponsible like that, because it's a breed. It's a breed which can erupt and become a civil strife. We don't want, this country has enjoyed peace for a long time. All we want to see is our generation to be working so hard. So we need a level, of course, youths will cry out. Every youth that you find, you cry out that, look, I have an NRC, I have done this at school, I don't have a job. But we need to look at the circumstances that are there. How many colleges do we have? A lot. How many universities do we have? A lot. And how many graduations do we witness in a year? A lot. And the government, there's no successful government that will come and employ the entire generation. So the government will employ a certain number of people. The rest of the young people need to adopt a trade skill, and the trade skill is what I'm thinking to be an answer to unemployment. Because when you adopt a trade, you will be able to survive even on your own. And even the companies are looking for skilled labor. Skilled labor, you can even get employed. But again, finding a job is one thing. Keeping that job is another. So when you have a skill, You can work on your own. That's another thing. That's another option that a skill will give you. Working for another company is another skill. It's another way of surviving. So we really need to ask our young people. And when I talk about these trade skills, it's not like you have to go to a trade school and get a certificate from there. All you can do firstly is like our parents would tell us that ngatusobera na wanzeru na uzankana na zero, ngatusobera na chipuwa na uzankala chipuwa. So it's the same thing how you can adopt that trade skill. You can see the people you can associate with, so that you learn how that job is done. When you start making a little bit of some money, then you can take yourself to a trade school. In a trade school there, you come out with a certificate, a trade certificate, where now you become competent, and when you fuse in that society, people will be able to recognize you that, uja ni electrician, anashitaenda ku school, or uja ni plumber, anashitaenda ku school, uja ni carpenter, anashitaenda ku school. And this is what we want to see from our young people. Some of us, we are here not because we had all our parents. No, for me really, I was kept in different homes, and then I even dropped out of school. But through these piece works that I was doing, I was able to do a self-sponsoring. I sponsored myself back to school, and eventually I was able to get a diploma in law. So I know how to interpret the law on that level of a diploma, and it's through self-sponsorship. So we should not cry all the time to say, no, Kylie, my parents are unable to do this. What is it that you're doing on your own to help yourself? Let me take you back a bit on the CBU student whom I went to give him a pocket money of 2,500 kwacha. I was impressed because there are very few young people that would come out, reduce themselves, and start doing these jobs that are not expected them to do. So when I saw that coming out from the news, well, I said, no, let me go and encourage this young man, and I want to see more young people taking that step like that. He's a student, you are a student, but he's a student who has taken a step further by going to help himself. And when that happens, and when I see that, I'll always come in and try to help out where I can, and more people will come and help you. And this is how I'm expecting the young people to be.
Okay. Yeah. Now, in terms of the education sector, the government had announced a reduction in school fees for public schools. Maybe how should parents now take advantage of this reduction to ensure that they send their children to school, maybe to avoid those issues, like you said, the issue of the gangs in Mtendele compound. Maybe just a reduction itself in the school fees. Now parents would take advantage of that to send their children to school. At least they're able to get some level of education.
It is a recommendable job by government. In fact, when we talk about government, we are talking about the president, because he is the head of the government. Mm-hmm. So for me, I would want to say it's a commendable job by President Edgar Lungu to consider that, because a lot of our young people have dropped out of school because of the same school fees. And our parents should take advantage now to this, that school fees have been reduced. So you have an opportunity to send your kids to school up to grade 12 and even to colleges, because from what I monitored is that they've reduced fees even for the colleges. So they firstly reduced fees for high schools. You can go up to grade 12 without paying much fees as we used to pay, and now you can go to college with the fees, the new fees that the minister has announced on behalf of government. So it's quite a commendable job that the president has, through the Minister of General Education, has come in and cut school fees. This is really promoting education in our country. And we need a generation that will be educated for them to understand these issues. There are a lot of issues that need to understand. But if there's that element of you going to school, you'll be able to understand them better. When you watch on TV, you will be able to interpret what they're saying on TV, and explain to the rest of the family. And that is very recommendable. Let me also say that in my constituency, we have Munali Secondary School. It's one of the oldest schools in Lusaka. and it has produced so many prominent people in our country. And Munali looks after children with disability, special needs. There are the deaf there, there are the blind there, and it has been doing that for a long time. Some of these platforms where I've shared some views and ideas, I've noticed that, it has been reported to me that there is a problem. There's a lot of segregation and discrimination amongst the disability, people with disability, and the normal people, able people. So we really need to mix. So I'm calling upon government to recognize Munali Secondary School as a center of excellence, so that we have a lot of personnel being trained from there and taken to society, so that society should be able to accept how to live with people with disability. I remember some time back there was a deliberate policy by, I think, unit government where telephone operators could be blind, you know, and there are some specific jobs where we can put blind people. Speaking to blind people, they even told me that we are normal people. Society do not understand that one day we'll grow up and we would want to get married. And how do we live if at all we are not being told to do these other things? We are human beings. The only problem is maybe the disability that we have. But we think the same way like able-bodied people, and we do everything as we can with our own hands and everything else. And for me, really, that is touching. That is very touching to me. And being a member of Parliament from Munali, I'll pay more attention to the people living with disability, so that we see how there's no segregation, there's no discrimination amongst them. Also, let me also say that we have also Chainama Mental Hospital. From the time we were growing up, I was young then, and the Chainama Mental Hospital has remained the same. I'm also calling upon, and even if after my time, we want to see that Chainama Mental Hospital receives a facelift and the services enhanced, so that the public, the society can know what the value that Chainama Mental Hospital has. It's now Chainama College Hospital, but I would want a lot of doctors to becoming like on platforms like this, to explain what they offer from there. We have a lot of psychological problems in our country. We have lost people, and some of it is we ask ourselves why these policemen are shooting themselves, committing suicide. Not only policemen, but there are more other people maybe that we don't know about. So that has to do with psychological problems, and we also have people going through financial stress, people going through this economical stress, relationship stress, and people have maybe insomnia in the night. They are thinking too much. I think all these things, they can be people can be cancelled and be cured from Chainama Mental Hospital. Really, Chainama College Hospital to me is on the side of my heart, because I really want to see that the services are improved, and it receives a facelift, so that we can save a lot of lives. We can save quite a lot of lives that we can save from that side.
Okay. In case you're just joining us, you're watching The Society, which comes to you every Wednesday right on Evolution TV from 18 to 19. And please don't call the line. The number on the screen is just for SMSs only. People are trying to call in, but we are not accepting any phone calls. We just are receiving SMSs, and that number is 0978 43 74 37, 0978 43 74 37. So just for SMSs only, and if you want to talk to us, you can call later on after the program is done. Now, Mr. Chiinda, the issue of sanitation in some parts of Munali constituency, and things to do with some pit and trim toilets, and I think there was a program to upgrade such toilets to some flushable ones. Maybe how do you intend to engage the community so that they accept new trends that happen in terms of having quality toilets, and also to enhance the issue of sanitation in the constituency?
Thank you, Kayombo. That is a very important sector on waste management and just the entire sanitation like that. One, our residents need to be sensitized, and the authorities as well. They need to. We need to enhance our services in collecting this garbage in the compound. There's a Unza has been experiencing sanitation problem, and what I want to do is that I need to involve or the people that will be appointed to clean Unza. Maybe they need to be given special instructions, because we've been having a sanitation problem for a long time. Sewer lines blocking, sewer water coming out from anywhere, and really we need to pay attention to that one. In the compounds, in the communities where we're coming from, already I've seen garbage accumulating there at Mahatma Gandhi grounds. I've seen a lot coming out on that side. Really, our residents need to be sensitized. It doesn't help anyone. You wake up in the night, you go and throw garbage at your neighbor's house or just on the road. It doesn't help. It is our community, so we really need to take care of our community. And I don't know, I think Lusaka City Council, okay, my proposal is that I know maybe Lusaka City Council through the Minister of Local Government, they are doing something where a separate company, a separate entity has to be created specifically for waste management. I would want to see it like that. I'll give an example of, I think water storage was part of, water department was part of the council when it started, and it was separated. Right now, it's doing very fine. I think garbage is another area that we need to pay attention. Garbage, every person produces garbage. Even the child who was born today produces garbage. So really we need to have a dedicated company that will be looking into this, just like ZESCO, where you have to make sure that the laws that are going in line with the collection of garbage and waste management is followed. The system the new system which is coming up now through the Millennium Challenge, where they are doing flushable toilets in our area in Tendere and Tendere East there and everywhere else. I think it's a very welcome move. If we do away with the Peter tree, I think then we can reduce some of these diseases that comes with waterborne, that comes with the sewer influent. I'm only hoping the project will come to an end soon and people will start accessing the facilities of having their toilets flushable. I know it will take a little bit of some time for everyone to build toilets in the compound, but once we start the process, I think everyone will be enticed to build a toilet and put a toilet and connect to a sewer system. But our residents should not forget that when you are using a service, there should be obviously there will be a fee that will be paid to the authorities for maintenance and everything else. So really, our residents, our people in the Munali constituency, they should be able to know that there will be small fees that will be paid to that. And what is there, what the Millennium Challenge, what the government is doing through Millennium Challenge is recommendable. It's very recommendable because our households will be improved. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to a day where they will announce that okay, we have installed these and their lines are now working and everything else is done. Where we have never seen shower water like you open a shower and then you bath from a shower. So bathing from a shower when you're living in a compound, it passes Zoom. So really, I want to see a day when our people in the compound will be connected to shower water where we don't have water problems. I'm looking at a day when that happens. If it goes up to 2021, obviously, I'll need to find out. I'll need to push so that the project comes to fruition. Yeah.
Okay. Now, on the issue of markets also, maybe what's your general picture, overview of the state of the markets in Munali and also what you intend to do about it?
Our market, like in Kalingalinga, we have in fact, me from Kalingalinga, we need to do a road. Very few people knows that there's even a market off Kamloops Road, off pitching my traffic lights going to the left there. Very few people knows that, because there's no tarmac going to that market like that. So I really need a tarmac to be done going to that market there. And then if we can mobilize or we can lobby wherever we can lobby, if it is government or if it is using CDF, we have to do a mother shelter there. We have to create a very good enabling environment for our marketeers there. Our women in Mtendere, because my market kuja, women there, Moro tiche moja pafupina pacha peto paja. Really, we want to. I like the zeal. Our women really want to do business. They are always wanting to sell something. So we need to see how we can work it out. The time there was Keep Zambia Clean campaign, I saw some shops that were coming up along the road. That was supposed to be recommendable, but because that campaign is no longer there, I've seen those shops, unfinished shops like that, they've been abandoned, and our people are back there on the streets. But really, what I would want to see, I'll be very happy to see a day where our marketeers, they are properly in a designated areas where they can do business properly without any disturbance, where they can, when they are knocking off, the lock up, and then when they are coming in the morning again, not a system where when they are knocking off they have to kuamba longa masaka, then you send food mambapo later populisira food. I really want to improve that. Yeah, but we can do that together with them. But really the garbage collection, we need a concerted effort with everyone. All the women should be able to know. Muntu akataya kantu. Themselves, they should be able to tell that person, hey, kadobe yako. I want to see a situation where we get to that level. Akataya kantu muntu paka bamdobesa, so that our environment is just clean as it is. Yeah.
In terms of the health facilities, like you talked about Chainama hospital, maybe apart from that hospital you talked about, your intention, how do you intend to also maybe increase the number of clinics, or also to upgrade the existing ones in Munali constituency?
I went to Mtendere clinic. I saw that, I appreciated how they are keeping the clinic. It's very clean, but I saw that there was a limitation in terms of space.
Okay.
I would want to see first level hospital in our constituency. You see, our constituency is one of the biggest constituency in Lusaka, and every government must pay attention to the constituency like that. We have about 140,000 registered voters in Munali constituency, and half of that is based in Mtendere ward. So Mtendere ward is Mtendere and Kalikiliki. We have a lot of our voters there. It's about 65,000 registered voters there, and what we need is, we needed a clinic, maybe a first level hospital, but I know with the limitation of space, maybe we can take it to another place. Maybe we can find a place in Salama, somewhere there. But in Mtendere East, we really need a clinic there. Like I said, also in Kaunda Square, we also need a clinic to be built there, just behind maybe Kaunda Square Secondary School there. I think I saw there's space there. I think we can put up a clinic that side. I also want to see a clinic in Madido, Obama area, because that area, it can be said that is Chongwe constituency, but most of our people from that side, they vote from Chakunkula and Kapiriomba there in Munali constituency. So really, I wanted to see that happening. Our people in Kalikiriki there, they have issues in the night because there's no clinic there, and the health post that is there is only there for a day, for daytime. In the night it closes. So it's the same experience that the Kaunda Square people are experiencing, where when someone is sick in the night, they have to travel to Mtendere Clinic. And there, Mtendere Clinic, there is a problem with the roads. There's a road linking up to Mtendere. There's a problem there. So I really want to see that improved as well. Yeah.
Now, the issue of those people that do, I've seen a lot of welding going on along that road from ZNBC, Arinkata Road.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some people are saying that maybe you should come up with a specific place where they're able to sell their merchandise and just to formalize that type of business. I think there are those who crush stones, those who do welding, those who make those pottery, don't know, those out of cement. So also what plans do you have for those that are engaged in such type of business, in terms of them having a readily available market for their product?
Really, so far I've seen the road. The road is on the other side. They are extending the road on the other side. They are spared for now. As an MP from Munali, I didn't want to see a situation where we can come up with a place, a designated place where everyone can be there. I don't know. There are quite many. But what they are doing is very commendable because they don't just want to sit at home, but they want to wake up in the morning and go and work for themselves. So really, I want to see where we can find a place and put them there where each and every welder will have their own staff, and people should be able to know that is the small industry that we are creating. In fact, Karingaringa, to me, is one business area. So we want to see. I want to ensure that at least there's even a place. Maybe we can ask along city airport there if they still have land. Maybe they can give us that one, and then where our people can now be trading from there, where it is safe. I know that side along the road, there are a lot of people that passes through there, and a lot of people will see their merchandise. But really, we to safeguard them because the road is expanding, and then you never know. Accidents happen on the road. So I would want to see to find a place where we can put them and they can trade from there properly. When you want to buy anything in terms of hardware and the same gates and the like, you can get everything from around Arinkata Road in Karingaringa there. Munali is very exciting because if you want fruits and vegetables, you get them from Kazmai in Mtendere there. So that time where people would wake up in the morning going to Soweto, I think in Asirako is about they order stuff from there. For me, I would want to encourage our women in Munali that are doing a commendable job, but as leaders, we need to find an enabling environment where they can trade properly without any disturbances. Unlike sitting by on the road, you never know what happened on the road. So really, we want to create that environment, a nice, proper environment for them where we can put even toilets on the side, and just to improve the sanitation that is supposed to be done.
Okay. Now, also in terms of bus station and bus stops, I think it has been a common trend where people complain with being harassed by so-called party cadres. Now, how do you intend to engage with the council to ensure that you bring sanity in that regard, to ensure that the traveling public are not inconvenienced by these people?
Well, in our area, I would want firstly a road to be done from Mahatma Gandhi joining up to PHI there, so that we reduce on the congestion. Firstly, we have a lot of buses, like I would cite an example of Mtendere, even Kaunda Square there. We have a lot of buses stopping by on the road and inconveniencing other road users like that. So really, I would want firstly we decongest. We need a road to be done from Mahatma Gandhi going to join PHI. I also want a road to be done from PHI going into Mtendere there, but without going to police, just going straight to Pamwale, Pajakondo join ku Ibex, Karikiri, side. If these roads are done, and then we'll be able to congest. And then later on, we need to see how we can engage the council so that we can improve our bus stations, our bus stops, and we have to talk to the drivers. I know it's an issue which is very, very difficult, but I think we can improve it. We can see how we can improve it. I know it's very, very difficult to handle that other part, but I think we can make some improvement. I think there's nothing impossible. We can have a win-win situation where we have a designated place where the buses are able to park, and then we also have other road users that are using the road without any disturbance. You see, it becomes a problem, especially when you're going somewhere and then you are blocked by a bus. So that become an infringement on someone else who wants to use the same road that you pay road tax on. So really we need to look at how we can decongest and find a win-win situation where the buses will be able to park somewhere and the other road users are parking somewhere. Same applies to Chiinda. There are Chiinda market. There are those metal fabricators on the road, and there are buses again, Papa Clinic side, where they block other people like that. So I'm only appealing again to the people that are doing the contractors, or the people that are responsible for these contractors doing the roads, that they should not forget to do a bus station, so that these buses, they don't stop on the road blocking other people that are coming behind. There should be a designated place where they can park and they drop people, and those that are coming in, they come in like that, and then it proceeds. So we really need an environment which will be fair to everyone in Munali constituency.
Okay. Now coming to the issue of social corporate responsibility, like you said that you have Chrismo right here in Cheston and Chrismo Rogers. Before we come to the issue of youth employment, maybe we talk about people you are helping in Munali constituency. I've seen you attending certain meetings where you're helping out the widows, and like you said, that students from CBU. We have to just appreciate for the efforts he's making to ensure that he goes to school at CBU. So maybe that area also, what drives you to engage in helping the community even before you become a member of parliament?
Usually, it's the way I've grown up. I have grown up in different homes, and a lot of people helped me in a different way like that to be what I am today. I think I learned to be hardworking when I was too young, and I still carry that with me even now, that every person needs to be putting in 75% of hard work, and 25% is what we can ask from others as help. So really, the situations that we have, the challenges that we have amongst the widows, it's not like they wanted to be widows, but they found themselves in a situation like that. And orphans, it is a situation they found themselves to be orphans, not like they wanted to be orphans. And there is that worry where they are going to get the next meal tomorrow. I haven't started now because of this political ambition. No, I started this a long time ago. For example, I built Chrismo in 2006, and from that 2006, I've been giving out free water. From 2006, maintenance is on me. The community have been offering free water from the community, and I encourage everyone that if you don't have water, go to Chrismo, you get water from there. And there are some roads that have been grading, bad roads that I was grading, even way before I thought of becoming an MP. Even just helping out, like I'll take one day, maybe in a month, just go in the compound and helping out those that I can help, But you see, the good part with you, the media, is that you are able to bring out what someone is doing in the compound. what someone is doing in the communities, for people to know what is happening in the communities. You, the media, are very important to our development of our communities and our nation, because you bring out what we don't know. Some of these things, it's the media that came out, brought it out to say, oh, there's an orphanage in Kaliklik, so we need to help out. So, and then even me, when I see that, I would always go in and try to help out what I can. So I've been helping out in the orphanages, like in Tendere East. I went there not only once, but I've been going there once in a while. In Avondale, there's another orphanage there. I've also been going there. So whenever there's a program, I've also encouraged them to inform me so that we can help out together. So in many other programs, like even the youths, bringing the youths together, it's one of those things where it's just something that is coming from my heart. I've grown up in the compounds, in the community, so I know the challenges that are going there. And some of these challenges, it's not like they wanted to find themselves in such challenges, but because of life has taken them there. So for us, what we can do, when you have a hand of help, you can go in and try to help those that you can. At a level where I want to be an MP for Munali, it's just that I want to provide leadership so that we use the same manpower that is within Munali Constituency and develop it in a way that we can together. Yeah.
Okay. Now, also in terms of enhancing security in the area, apart from dealing with the gangs, but keeping crime levels in our constituency, what do you think should be done?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's another concern. There's another area where I'm very much concerned. Coming in as an MP from Munali, I know that I have a mammoth task here with the communities to handle these security concerns that we have. Just this morning, I was informed that one of the people in Chiinda was attacked and was killed this morning. That is a concern for me as well, a security concern for me. For the meantime, what I'm trying to suggest to our people in Munali is that these gangs are well-known gangs. When we know them, it's better we report to the police and the police arrest them. But to avoid this, I'm encouraging our people, our communities, that let's have family meetings where we can hold the family together, call all the family members, discuss about these things, how you're going to hold the family together. In one family, there should be one or two uncles that will come out who's doing very fine and be able to help other people in the same family like that. I know youths would argue that we have nothing to do, so but that should not infringe on somebody's rights. We really need to call for that responsibility from our young people. Secondly, we need our young people, we need our communities to form neighborhood association where they can discuss the challenges of that neighborhood. And they should be able to know that and then as a neighborhood, they can try to sit down with that same child, find out what is troubling him to do what he's doing. Maybe we can try to help out. When it comes after this one, then we go to community meetings where challenges of the community are discussed together, and then they are able to bring out issues affecting the community. The community should be able to know that mwana wa chite ndio samvera na mwana wa chite samvera. Many times we talk about that the bars are available, beers are available. I just discovered yesterday when I was just interacting with the youths what they drink. When I was doing the cleanings, then I found out that there was some brown bottles, medicine, medicine which they mix with some drinks, and then when they take it, it's a cough mixture which they drink, and they mix it with some drink, and then they'll be drunk, and the so-called junks, they drink that. And when they do that, they also go out there now, start attacking innocent people. We don't want to reach a level where the police, these jails, cells should be full with our young people. where are we going to get the next generation if the generation which is taking over us is getting drunk irresponsibly like that? So really we need to have that concerted effort with our communities that we can curb this. The police will only come in when a crime is committed, but we don't want to reach a time where a crime is committed where the police are coming in to arrest. We need as a society to do something. So I'm only urging our members of the community that this is our problem. Let's see how we can help out, particularly in Munali constituency, because that is an area of concern. We can see how we can help out within our community, what we can do.
Okay. Yeah. Now there's another issue that is of concern also, like we talked about the issue of substance abuse. Now there's the issue of underage patronages in some drinking places. And the council, when they conduct those weekend operations, most of the people that are picked up are teenagers. Maybe what do we appeal to these people who own these drinking places to ensure that they follow the law and not allow these young patrons to enter, thereby jeopardizing the future of these young people?
Well, to the bar owners, please don't allow underage. Sometimes what I've noticed is that even me, people have thrown tantrums to me to say, don't talk about young patronage before you clean up your Chrismo. I took some time just to go there and see what happens. Let me also inform the public that there's no single bar that I run there. I'm just the owner of the building, and people themselves would want to do a business they feel they can make money. And if everyone else is running to open up a bar, I want to believe that that is a business which is trending. But it's up to us now to control how the lifestyle our young people have adopted. So we need to talk about that lifestyle that our young people have adopted. And when I checked, in fact, the so-called young people, I found that there are teenagers that are above 18 years. They're the ones that are drinking from there. A boy who's 18 years or 21 years will look much younger than a girl who's 18 or 21 years. So these that we're talking about are these young people that are 18 years and above. There's no one who's admitted in a bar who's less than 16 years or less than 18 years. There's nothing like that. I have taken that research on my own, and I found that those boys that are drinking are above 18 years and above, and they just look young like that. But really, we really need to ask ourselves, just like I said, that it's a concern for everyone. It's a concern for the country. People would say maybe Chrismo is contributing to this, but Chrismo is just a business. It's just a business, and all we can talk about is that let's see how we can control our generation. We need to ask ourselves, 5 years ago or 10 years ago, was the drinking habit like this? If the answer is no, then it is an effort that we have to take to look into, all of us as a society, all of us, even as leaders. We need to look at what is the root cause of all these things that are happening now. Is it because they go with the popularity, because our population is growing, and then even now our young people will be drinking carelessly like that? But some of the root causes that I found out was that too much freedom, and this freedom was being propagated mainly by a lot of boarding houses. They have so much freedom. They can drink. They can even sleep in bars. But these are not underage. No, they are young people, yes, but they are not underage. They are the young people that are leading this life irresponsibly. So I'm looking at how we can improve that as a society, as a leader also from Munali constituency. I need to sit down and with the parents and everyone else in Munali constituency, as a member of Munali constituency, all the people that are progressive in Munali constituency. This is our problem. We can handle this one and see how we can improve our young generation that is coming up.
Okay. Now, finally, to do with the issue of propaganda and misinformation, especially on social media, and also the issue of promoting hate speech that has become rampant in our country. As a leader who's aspiring to lead the people, what would be adverse to the Zambian population in terms of avoiding this hate speech on social media and also spreading wrong information about just maybe the country itself?
Yeah, really, again, that is another area where we get a lot of misinformation. It's a challenge, again, to you, the media. I think somehow the media is divided. You find that you are for this one, they are for this one, and then they want to see in the eyes of the public, this one has to look good and this one has to look good. I think fake news is not doing anything to us. I saw that on BBC. Again, it's a global concern to everyone that let us report truthfully. Let us bring out issues, particularly issues that are happening in our community, so that we can improve our communities. If there's no breach in Kalikiriki, let the media bring it out, so that we see that they need development there. If there's something like guns are happening in China, let them go there and do a fact-finding mission. Unlike you're just seated on your desk, and then you think you cook up something and then you post it and people want to believe that this guy is doing this. So really, fake news is not helping our country. It's not helping us in any way. I remember one thing that sometimes I even think that democracy came too early to us. We really needed maybe to join hands and develop this country. Then later on we start politicking in terms of democracy. Because you want to do anything, a government that or anyone who wants to do a project, it will be mad with corruption. To be said, no, that's a corrupt project. So there's no project that you can do properly without anyone pointing fingers that obviously we're not jam. To me, sometimes I think that democracy has come too early to us. We needed to develop this country at some stage. Then we introduce a multi-party system. But since it's already there, I think we can still join hands, speak with one voice. When we see a good project, let us not to mudslide that project. It will benefit the people that if it is you coming up again tomorrow, you will be able to preside over the same people. So let's join hands. We shouldn't segregate each other. We are one Zambia, one nation. I think it is very, very important to join hands and work together.
Okay. Now, thank you very much, Mr. Chiinda, for coming and just share with us your vision that you have for the people of Munali as you aspire to stand in 2021 elections, and all the best to you.
Thank you very much.
This has been Society, which comes to you every Wednesday night on Evolution TV from 18 to 19. And my guest was a Lusaka businessman and a politician, Mr. Chrispin Chiinda, who was just here to share with us his vision for the people of Munali. For me, Lovely Kayombo and the entire production team, see you next week, same time, and God bless you.
To regulate any form of manipulation, any form of playing around, any form of transformation, changing of such organisms in this country. So that is what the National Biosafety.
They go undergo a risk assessment and we issue a permit. So if a product has not undergone any risk assessment and a permit has not been issued by the MBA, then the products are not allowed. So the current status as at now, because there's a lot of contract and opportunity to maybe not follow or not comply with the law, and I think we'll talk about some of these products that we have found actually already being traded in the supermarkets without the MBA permits. But I'll focus more on the points of entry and what is currently there and what the MBA is putting in place. Because you know that before the Biosafety Act came in 2007,
country, as well as also political parties playing their role in ensuring that this ratio of engagement is achieved.
An issue today, as a youth representative, we like to speak like a marketeer, like an offer, like a teacher, like a nurse. So when you look at the plights and the challenges that many of these people are going through, I think 2018 has been a year of storm and a year of a lot of ups and downs. When you look at the other aspect of youth involvement, I don't know about people.
Certain political elements will go out of the country and scandalize the judiciary. They go to South Africa, talked about the Zambian judiciary is corrupt and all this. And this is the same judiciary that delivered